I was born in the Bronx Hospital in 1925. I graduated in January of 40. I was only 17. I had to get my parents' permission to join up, because you had to be 18 to take in the service at the time. I went down to Grand Central Palace with my uncle, who had been a previously World War I veteran and knew all the ins and outs. So he got me down there. I passed the physical and everything else, and 2 days later, I was on my way to Newport, Rhode Island. I was there for 10 weeks, boot camp. Got a 30-day leave, came back home, and went back up to Newport and went to quartermaster school. From there, I was shipped out on a merchant ship in a convoy. We went through the Panama Canal, and we went out to Pearl Harbor. About 8,000 miles, that's a long haul. And I was seasick about 20 out of the 21 days I was born. But I never got seasick after that. Oh, that was the worst thing. I couldn't get out of my rack. The racks were 3 or 4 high because it was a troop ship, you know? And I was buffing all over the place. Oh, God. I said, this I got to look forward to? You chose the Navy? Before you sign to a ship, you go to the staging area, and you wait there, and then they assign you where you're going. So about 2 days later, I was assigned to the battleship USS New Mexico. As I was going aboard the ship, I happened to look over the gangplank, the gangway, and I saw these reflections in the water. And I said, what can that be? What happened is we were birthed, the ship that I was going to be on was birthed directly behind the Arizona. And you could see the bubbles still coming up from the oil bucket. The first time I saw a lot of action, it was on the Marshall Island. I was more afraid of the recoil, the sound of the guns, you know, because it's a shock. You're not used to it, you know. I think it was the 6th of January of 1944. We were under attack by a kamikaze plane. Came in about dusk, and it came over the starboard side of the ship, and with that, they dropped the bomb. As it came over the superstructure, dropped the bomb. The bomb wiped out the 40-millimeter mount. It killed all the guys in the radio section up on the navigation, and it killed my captain. And I was from here to maybe 25 feet away. When I was on the ground, I was face down. You're doing this. You're feeling if I got any holes in me, you know. But we were only young kids then. All of this time at 18, 19-year-olds. It's a shame, but that's the way of life. Some make it and some don't. They had to be buried at sea. They all had to be sewn in a bag, and you have the color of it, and they're all over the side in the deep water. You know. You never forget these things.
I have received this afternoon a message from the Japanese government which specifies the unconditional surrender of Japan.
It was a sigh of relief that we didn't have to go to Japan, because they knew that the casualties were going to be tremendous. The kamikazes were going to be like locusts. They'd be all over the place. Would have been high. They expected maybe possibly 1 million casualties in Japan, because those people were going to die hard. I called my parents and everything else, and then everybody was elated. Let me put it that way. You know, the war was over and everything, and then everything was, what are you going to do now? You know, you're home. What are you going to do now? But it was the best thing I ever did. I grew up. I went in as a kid, and I came out a man, because I went to places I would never have before. I can't complain, really. I enjoyed it. Like I say, I grew up the hard way, but it was to my benefit, really.